or especially that Nats clubhouse was, look at this!
I legitimately have no idea how Juan Soto was even able to put a barrel on this baseball, let alone make contact, but then again, he is Juan Soto. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about. Yes, we're going to break down the rest of that Nationals game in just a moment. We're going to talk about the Angels and the Yankees yet again looking like world beaters. Jorge Soler, get your telescopes out, folks, because he hit one to space and the Astros offense is still insane. Now, before we talk about the breaking news that Trevor Bauer has essentially been banned from baseball, I don't know if this means that his career is over. I do want to talk about a no-hitter that was thrown yesterday, and whether you think it's a legitimate no-hitter or not, I'm still counting it. Tylor Megill, aka Mini DeGrom, whatever you want to call this man, Tylor Megill was back on the bump, and he got some help from Brandon Nimmo in center field on his way to throwing 5 no-hit innings. But Fuzzy, why did they take him out? Well, he did have 90 pitches and 3 walks through the first 5 innings, so there was no way he was ever going to finish this game. So this could still be a combined no-hitter. If Drew Smith does his job, he does. He gets 4 outs on 4 strikeouts. Joely Rodriguez, Seth Lugo, and Edwin Diaz are now tasked with trying to complete this no-hitter, and they get it done. Edwin Diaz does it in dominating fashion, might I add. He wipes out 3 consecutive Phillies, he strikes out the side, and this Mets team is just different, ladies and gentlemen. They're 15-6 with an MLB best plus 36 run differential, so again, they're 15-6, and they've outscored their opponents by 36 runs already. Well, I guess they're tied with one other team, the Yankees. We'll talk about them later. The Dodgers and the Tigers faced off. A young Tigers team was in Tinseltown, and that was going to be a tough task because it did not start off great. JT belts a 2-run shot, and Chris Taylor obliterates one nearly 445 feet. Ellie got 1 in the 4th on a Trey Turner sac fly, and the Tigers defense looks completely out of sorts lately. After an error in the 4th inning led to another unearned run. So I was curious. I wanted to see how many unearned runs the Tigers have allowed this year. So the Tigers have allowed 80 runs total. 64 of them have been earned. So they have allowed a whopping 16 unearned runs in the first few games of the season. Bad defense is going to expose you every single time. Now let's go ahead and talk about Trevor Bauer. Essentially, I mean, I don't know if his career is over because he has been suspended for the next 2 years. Now, of course, if you know Trevor Bauer, if you've followed him on YouTube, he is going to fight this until the very end. So essentially, in a nutshell, Major League Baseball has banned him for 324 games, and that doesn't include the time that he's already missed. I think he missed about 90 games last year. He was paid for it, so it doesn't count as a suspension. So 324 games, 2 years, and that started yesterday. So the Dodgers are going to be saving about $60 million over the next 2 seasons. So they can use that towards extending Trey Turner or another pitcher if they wanted to. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you make of this debacle? Because it's not a good look for anyone involved. So I might be biased, but this next game might have been the game of the year, the Guardians and the A's. All right, let's see if me hyping it up pays off. Look at J-Ram, man, our short king. Yes, I'm giving J-Ram the short king crown. He's 5'9", which is the cutoff in my opinion. That's because I'm 5'9", so I'm a short king. That's his 7th already. More on him later. Sean Murphy, the thick boy himself, all caked up on this one. 407 on a 3-foot on a 3-run shot. Oakland quickly goes up 4-1, and things were not looking good. JK, look at the kid, Andres Jimenez, with the go-ahead grand slam. Cleveland takes a 5-4 lead on his very first slam of his young career, and of course, the A's fight back. It couldn't be the game of the year if Oakland just rolled over. Tony Kemp fouls out, and Andrews tags up, and then Sheldon Noisy clutches up twice, once in the 4th to score Pache, once in the 6th to punch Cleveland fans in the face and make it 8-5. But wait, J-Ram is back. His 2-run double makes it a 1-run ball game, and Josh freaking Naylor nails this one. It is 8-7 Guardians, and then Stephen comes in and tosses 2 shutout innings with 2 strikeouts, and Clase has a scary 9th. A runner does get to 3rd base, but he closes it out, and he was fired up. The Guardians come away with a 9-8 victory. The Padres and the Pirates, it was a rough first for Yu Darvish, but you got to tip your cap. He settled down after that. Ha-Seong Kim had his pitchers back, and I want you guys to guess the distance on this one. I'll give you guys about 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, that's enough. That was 425 feet. Kim now has 10 RBIs, 3 home runs, a 181 OPS plus, and he's top 17% in sprint speed. It would be sick to have a breakout campaign from Ha-Seong Kim. San Diego puts more pressure on Pittsburgh as they score 2 in the 5th off the bats of superstars Cronenworth and Machado. Trace Thompson was a monster in AAA this year. He's the brother of Klay Thompson. He got called up and he grabbed his first 2 RBIs, and the Crone Zone was back at it again after a slow start. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs in his last 6 games. The Padres are now 14-7, and they don't have Blake Snell, Mike Clevenger, or Fernando Tatis. I feel like they're about to make a push this this year. Jorge Soler, yeah, he hit this one to another Solar system. Get out the telescopes, ladies and gentlemen. 470 feet and 117.6 miles per hour off the bat. This one got crazy, though, because Luis Torrens clears the bases for Seattle, so the Mariners momentarily steal the lead. Then the Marlins say, okay, enough of that. They go off for 6 unanswered runs in the second and the third inning. It was capped off by a 2-run home run from Miguel Rojas. Sean Armstrong of the Marlins had anything but a strong arm yesterday, nearly blowing this game entirely. So he gives Bender the opportunity to have a save, and he gets it done. That's save number 5, and the Marlins sneakily improved to 11-8. The team is 7th in team ERA in terms of pitching and 14th in team OPS, so they can pitch well and they can hit at a fairly decent level. The Red Sox and the Orioles, Boston, I can't believe I'm even saying this, had gone 7 games without a home run, so Christian Arroyo decided, yeah, it was time to end that streak. They score another later in that inning for Rich Hill. Rich Hill does not factor in the decision for a W because he didn't go 5 innings, but he went 4 scoreless with 4 strikeouts. Tanner Houck came in for 3 innings, and he just wanted to get that arm loosened up because he hadn't been pitching in a little bit. The pen held it for the final 2 innings, and the Red Sox definitely have some work to do. They need Chris Sale back and healthy, and they maybe need to call up Tristan Casas because their first base play has been terrible this year. Houston versus Toronto. Bregman has always been deadly versus left-handed pitchers. He shows it off in the first few innings against Yusei Kikuchi, and Yordan is deadly versus anyone. Gurriel doubles in another right before a sac fly from Kyle Tucker pushes it to 4-1, and this was in front of 35,000 people. Vladdy Jr. does it. Look at this, ties it on a moonshot. This vicious swing resulted in a no-doubter, and speaking of no-doubters, Jeremy Pena got all of this one. His own 3-run shot, he matches Vladdy Jr. He has been as good as advertised, and Yordan is still mashing, so the Astros literally lost absolutely nothing offensively after Carlos Correa went to the Minnesota Twins. They might have even gotten more athletic. Defensively, Pena is not Carlos Correa, but he's quicker, and the bat seems to be on par with Carlos. Tucker doubles in the 11th run, and I mean, the Jays and the Mariners and the Mets are flashy, but do not count out the Astros. They are here. I mean, they added Jeremy Pena and Justin Verlander. I know that they were in the organization, but those are 2 fantastic additions that weren't on the team a year ago when they made the World Series. Taylor Ward is a man on a mission. He was a bust coming into 2021. He was the 26th overall pick in 2015, had a decent 2021, and now he is breaking out. He has been inhuman this year, ripping his 5th home run already, and the most impressive part, he has more walks than strikeouts. 11 walks, 10 strikeouts, so he is seeing the ball at an elite level. Ohtani does Ohtani things, and I think the Halos are way better with him out of the leadoff spot. And look at Trout. He wants that first Gold Glove award. That is the only thing missing from his trophy case. The Angels had to go with a relief pitching game because Noah Syndergaard, he wasn't feeling well, so they had a spot starter, and it works out in their favor. Rendon flashes the leather in the 5th and then doubles in Ohtani in the next top half. Walsh and Ward rip a few RBI extra base hits to make it a 5-1 game, and Iggy, his 6th save sends LA to their 6th consecutive win, and the Angels only allow 3 hits in that game, by the way, and it was the White Sox. And I feel like the White Sox are playing bad, but they still have a good team. Wander Franco doubles in a run for the Tampa Bay Rays as they're facing off against the Twins, and Josh Lowe unloads on the first pitch he sees. He's been struggling, so his first career home run hopefully is going to lead to better things. Yandy Diaz and Zunino bring home a few more. Zunino, he did it on a home run, and Kluber was Klubot yesterday. He was coasting. 6 punch outs in 6 innings, only allowed 1 earned run, and he looked like vintage Klubot because he only allowed 1 hit and did not walk anyone, and that slurve and slider were on full display yesterday. The Braves and the Rangers, Austin Riley is pretty much that scene where Tony Stark says, yeah, well, we have a Hulk. Yeah, the Braves have a Hulk. 3 doubles and 4 home runs in his last 6 games. Adolis has an interesting 10 minutes of baseball because he smokes a home run and then allows a home run. This one gets past him, and Travis Demeritte can fly, so he rounds the bases. William Contreras rips 2 home runs for the Braves to put this one out of reach, and Seager had a last-minute home run to kind of make things sweaty for Braves fans, but Kenley has a 1-2-3 9th inning for his 6th save. And I just want to mention Marcus Semien has 0 home runs and a 41 OPS plus. I was worried about him. He has a good year and then a bad year, a good year and then a bad year, so if you're following the trend, he's going to have a bad year. That's my expectations. The Brewers and the Cubs, Lorenzo Cain can still run at the ripe age of 36. I forgot that he was that old. Anyways, Peterson socks one, a 2-run shot, and Kutch does it again. 10 RBIs and a 97 OPS plus, so in terms of OPS plus, he's got some work to do, but he is just looking to stack up those stats for future Hall of Fame consideration. And you know who I thought was a Hall of Fame lock? Yelich. He had nearly a 32 WAR before turning 27, and I thought that he was going to keep the pace, but we all know he has been struggling, and that's why this is a good sign. This 450-foot bomb confirms that he is smashing the baseball, and he's still top 20% in hard hit, barrels, and sprint speed, so he has the tools to be a superstar offensive player despite his 653 OPS. Renfroe yams one, and Adrian Hauser holds the Cubs scoreless over 6 innings, and Renfroe has his first multi-home run game of the season, and the barrage continued as Willy Adames is up to 5 home runs. The Yankees and the Royals, speaking of barrage, Anthony Rizzo is a man amongst boys this year. 9 home runs, 21 RBIs, and a 219 OPS plus. Well, I guess he's a man amongst boys when talking opponents because his teammates are pretty huge. Giancarlo Stanton gets all of this one, and a weird play in the second happens. Witt Jr., Bobby, he gets called out after Glaber pushes him off the bag. A lot of people argue that his momentum was carrying him off the bag anyways. Matheny gets ejected, and it was all Yankees from there. Nestor was back on the bump. He allows just 1 earned run, but he had 8 base hits, so even though he was hittable, he is crafty enough to escape jams. DJ LeMahieu plays IKF, and then Judge and Torres both leave the yard, and I guess it just wasn't enough as Kyle Higashioka smokes a base-clearing double. He needed that for his confidence because he might be the worst hitter in baseball aside from Franmil Reyes and maybe Akil Baddoo to start the season. The Yankees have won 7 in a row, and again, they are tied with the Mets for the best run differential at plus 36. I think the Angels are up there as well. Bum's small blemish was a Goldie home run in the first, but he did not allow a single run to score after that, and his offense picked him up. Dalton Varsho ties it on a double down the right field line, and Pavin Smith, I feel like he has been having a lot of RBI groundouts lately, or just having small base hits that result in RBIs. And then we fast forward to Hummel and friends extending the lead to 5-1, and then Sergio Alcantara adds another one, knocking in the struggling Ketel Marte. Bumgarner already has 5 starts. He has a 1.17 ERA, 15 strikeouts in 23 innings, so he's no longer a 10 strikeouts per 9 guy, but he's going to get the job done the old-fashioned way, just allowing people to hit it, but they're not going to be hard base hits. The Rockies and the Reds, Elias Diaz muscles this one into the wind, and it flies over the center right field wall. Sam Hillier lays out to make a nice grab, and Ryan McMahon was the man. His 3-run tater ignites the offense, and that really helps out Antonio Sensatella, who tosses 6 1/3 of 1-run ball. Then Colorado completely rips the Band-Aid off in the 7th. 3 doubles makes it 8-1, and then to add insult to injury, Grichuk and Daza both single home a few more, and they make it a double-digit box score. And to quote Joey Votto, he is embarrassed, but we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. Nationals and the Giants, the final game. Juan Soto, if you like runs, you're gonna like this one. Juan Soto goes yard, and then Victor Robles knocks in 2 more, and right after that, Escobar drives in Robles. This has been a weird recap. I feel all over the place. Thank you guys for watching all the way until the end if you've made it this far, but man, I do not feel... something's wrong with my brain right now. Juan Soto had an emergency hack after trying to call time, and usually I'm pro player, but that was way too late. I'm on the side of the umpire and the Giants. I don't know what Juan was trying to do, but he shows off the all-time insane contact skills. Washington scores 2 in the 3rd and 4 runs in the 6th, and then 5 more in the 8th. So the usual San Francisco pitching staff that is fantastic. They got lit up, and every good team has a bad day, and that was pretty much it for the Giants. So San Francisco is still 13-7 after losing 2 straight. They do fall to the 3rd spot, but there is plenty of baseball left. That does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you made it until the end, thank you. That was a little bit, that's probably the roughest recap of the year. I guess my brain is just jambled right now, but thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Mark McGwire. I think he got a lot of this one, Ray. What do you think? Where's it going to land?
Did it hit it? Hit the sign?